Okay. Happy Monday. The last two Mondays, I have literally forgotten about team call. Today, at least it was earlier. I was like, oh my God, it's Monday. Like, I knew about team call. I knew what I wanted to talk about. It's not, at least last week, I like legit forgot and was like, I have nothing planned, or whatever week it was. The week before, I think it was. This week, like today, I was like, holy crap, it's Monday. Like I need to like wrap my head around at least the words I'm gonna say. Like I couldn't even believe that it was Monday. So that was funny. But I wanted to actually go over, I made a couple of notes of things that I want to make sure that you guys know about. So number one, we have the summer strong sale. It's already the 10th of the month, or it's only the 10th of the month, but we're 10 days into the month already. And the Summer Strong Sale is one of the best opportunities, especially for you new coaches, to lean in and talk about the program that you absolutely love. Talk about the program that you are doing. If you're not doing Let's Get Up, which is the program that's on sale right now, if you're doing a different program, talk about it. This is the best opportunity for you to get other people involved to do the same program that you're doing with the benefit of talking about a sale. The Summer Strong Sale is also awesome. So this means that every single program package is on sale. I don't know of really any packages that aren't on sale. So challenge packs, completion packages, they're all freaking on sale. It's also an incredible opportunity for people to get like clients already to get completion packages that they can get the equipment for programs that they've been really wanting to do, i.e. MBF. If they have been wanting to do MBF but they don't have the bod ropes, the cordless skipping ropes, they could get a completion package, get their Shakeology, they get the bod ropes. It's going to be cheaper than what it would be if they were to just order their Shakeology for the month. Plus, they get the bod ropes and they get that 30 days of Nutrition Plus, which is awesome. Like, there's just so many benefits. So, with that being said, I encountered this realization last month. If you guys are sitting back and not talking about a sale or pitching a sale to your current customers, already current customers, coaches, all of that first, like before you even talk about it on social media, if you're not going to them first, you're kicking yourself in the pants because those are your top quality, highest likelihood. I just put Kinsley down and I'm really praying that she does not wake up during this. Those are your best quality for like prospects per se. Think about it this way. When you own a boutique store, do you constantly rely on people who are first time customers into that store? This is like a boutique store. Your taste is very particular to certain people. You are not a Walmart. You are not somebody who carries everything for everybody. You are a boutique. And, the customers who have purchased from you, they now become your people, right? Are you growing your business by constantly like trying to get in 10, 20, 30, 50 new people a day into your boutique so that you can meet your sales? Or are you targeting the people who have already purchased from you, bringing in new things that you already know that they're going to like, serving them, bringing in pieces that they're going to appreciate so that they come and buy from you because they already trust you, they already know about you, they know what your boutique stands for, they know what you as a business owner stands for, and they want to support you. They think in their heads, I will buy from that boutique knowing that I'm supporting that person. The same thing applies for your business. Think of yourself like a little health boutique. Think of your boot camp like a boutique. You are not for everybody. You are not a Walmart. If you were a Walmart, you would be a Good Life or an LA Fitness. That would be what you are. You are a boutique. You are a specialized boutique, and you're also not a boutique that every single person is going to enjoy. People who want athlete style, who want hardcore success, who want, like just a different energy, people who want like I always think Ashley Molstead, she is her own vibe of boutique, right? Ashley Molstead. And then there is somebody like, I don't know, Bonnie Engel. They're two different boutiques. The people who go to Ashley Molstead are not the people who go to Bonnie Engel. The same thing applies. The people who come to me are not the people who go to Bonnie Engel. The people who come to me are not the people who go to Ashley Molstead. I am my own boutique. I have my own things that I can do to serve my people. The same thing applies to you. I want you to stop thinking about your business like it is this big, huge thing and you have to serve everybody. I want you to look at your boot camp and your team like they are a specialized boutique. What makes your boutique that different? What makes your boutique stand out? What are the quirks with your boutique? For me, in my boutique, it is all about mental health. We talk the good stuff. We are so real. I can come on and tell you honestly what's going on in my life. I am not a coach who says, like, who makes it seem like I've got my shit together. I am honest. I am constantly talking about what I'm truly going through day to day. I get on and I just bring my own characteristics. I have tough love energy. We talk about mental health. We talk about self-love. We talk about these things. Our community is just so much loving on other people and not focused on weight gain, not focused on weight loss, not focused on results per se in the way that a lot of people are looking for. Other groups, I have no idea if that's what they do because I stay in my own lane, but maybe that's what they do and that's what they focus on. Other groups, maybe they focus more on here's the nutrition plans that you want to use. Here's the fitness programs. Do them every single day, show up, and this is how you're going to get results. I'm not like that. That's not what I want people to join me for. I want people to be here for life. I want people to know that my boot camp is a space run by not just me, but by our team. I want people to know that our boot camp serves them for every season that they are going through. So my point is, I want you to look at your customers and your clients and your coaches as people who already have bought into your boutique and are here to serve you for the long run. That means that if you go and tell them about the sale. Hey, I don't know if you've seen, but we have the Summer Strong sale on, and literally every single challenge pack and completion pack is on sale. If you are needing your bod membership, go and renew. This is a perfect opportunity. If you order Shakeology, go and grab a completion package. What's a program that you want to pick up the equipment for? These are your people. Go and hit Success Club first and foremost with the people who have already purchased from you. Serve them. If they don't want to purchase, they don't want to purchase. The same thing applies with your boutique. If you bring in things, tell your previous customers about these things, they're not going to look at you like, oh my God, this bitch is trying to take my money. They're going to say, oh my gosh, thank you so much. I appreciate you thinking about me, but I'm going to pass. That's all they're thinking. They just know you. They know that you're trying to be there to serve them. Maybe it's not the right time for them to spend money. Maybe they're not looking for anything right now. Maybe they know that next month they have 3 gifts that they have to buy for somebody. So they're actually waiting for the sale for next month and holding off this month. You have no idea what's going on in their personal life to determine whether or not they're going to purchase right now. My point being, look at your current customers and clients as your highest top priority. So if and when we ever get codes like the CEO code or the sale that's probably going to come with the bikes and stuff like that, don't look outside your business already. Look internal. Okay. The way that I've actually been thinking about my business a lot for quite a while, but especially in the last little while since I had a baby, because I'm not able to do as much as I was doing before, what I've actually been doing is trying to hit Success Club and working to hit Success Club internally first and then going outwards. So if you think about it that way, and that's what I did, you guys did not see me talk once about the CEO codes on my stories because I went internal. I was in my inbox messaging all of the people. I was messaging follow-ups, but I was especially messaging clients and offering the coach discount to people I already had. And that's the way I want you to look at your business is how can I serve internally first? And then if nobody internally wants it, then go externally. Okay. So summer strong sale, 1000%. I want you guys to go and serve the people you already have first. Let them know about the sale, then go market it and have fun on your social media and let everybody else know. Okay. So if you think, and this is a great way to actually break down and expand your yeah, I love this about our community too. This is a great way to expand your Success Club opportunity because what if you thought about it like this? If you are looking to hit Success Club 5, that's 3 people. If you work to help one person internally, you only really have to find 2 people. If you work to help 2 people internally, meaning you help them become discount coach, or you help them you help them buy a completion package, you help them join that next program that you're doing, you help 2 people internally, you really only need to bring in 1 new person. This is not scamming the people you already have. This is serving the people you already have. Right? You're just simply offering them an opportunity, offering them a sale, offering them the products that they already love, and then going to share that with somebody else. That's the way that I've been looking at it. And it just makes Success Club that much simpler and that much more enjoyable. Okay, moving on. Use your reels. This is just a side note tip. Use your reels to tell people how you can help them. So I think for me, at least, I don't know if anybody else feels this way, but for me, I have felt a little strange about making reels talking about my boot camp. It feels almost like I have to make reels about everything else, completely unrelated to Beachbody, to my business, to boot camps, to the programs, to the solution that I can offer people. And instead, just make attractive, like this is what goes on in my head. You have to make attractive, business unrelated reels so that people don't look at you thinking, oh, she's just trying to sell something. That's what goes on in my head. And I don't know, it just kind of clicked for me just earlier today. But to make a reel, if you look at everybody else and all of these other businesses, they're making attractive reels, fun reels, educating people on how they can help. The same thing can be applied for here. So take your boot camp, think about it as your boot camp, as a boutique. We should call it the boutique boot camp. Ooh, right?
That's
okay. I'm in. Okay. So think of your boot camp as a boutique. Oh my God, I'm obsessed. Boutique boot camp. Okay. And talk about how you can help other people. Talk about, they don't have to, whatever it is. You know what I mean when I say make a reel telling people how you can help them. Okay. Don't shy away from that. Utilize reels, utilize the time that we're in, which is these reels, TikTok, if you use TikTok, and tell people how you can help them. Okay. Okay. Number 3 and 4, bikes are coming. So keep your mind open, keep your eyes open. Again, remember to pitch internally as well. These people want to know what's going on in our boutique boot camp. So I'm all over this, man. Let them know about it. Okay. Don't think, oh my God, how am I going to sell this bike? How am I going to share it with all of the people I already have? Preferred customer program is coming. Make sure that you know everything that there is to know about it. I'm actually going to be doing some research on that today. So if anybody wants to dive in with me, we can have a little chat about it. But I really am encouraging you to go and do your own homework on the preferred customer program so that you can really get an understanding. And then let's all take this. Let's all take this and talk about it and figure it out together. Okay, and then the last thing is Summit is in July. Make sure you guys register online so that you can get into Summit. It is free, but you have to be registered. Okay? Okay, let's talk about the good stuff. First, the good stuff. So I want to talk about how you attract and what you are a match for. So the terminology that I often use is what are you a match for? And what I mean by that is what vibration are you at? Like what if there was a scale, okay? And the scale down here was like super negative, super hard life, extremely challenging, just shit hitting the fan all the time. You are constantly feeling like life is excessively hard. That would be like down here. Okay. Let's just envision this scale. Up here, you're like living the best life. It doesn't mean that you have all of the money or the big things or like it's not materialistic, but happy. In your mind, things feel easy. In your mind, you are not excessively stressed. In your mind, you just feel good. You just feel like shit is just falling into place. Things feel easy. Life feels easy. Down here, life feels really hard and shit is happening. Up here, life feels really easy and things are happening, but they're happening in such an incredible way. Like for you, like making your life just incredible. Opportunities are coming to you, money is flowing to you, bills are paid, and stress is eased. Like the stress that you have, you're just like, I mean, I'm stressed, but I'm not really stressed, you know? I just have life stress. Like, oh, my daughter's not feeling good, or my daughter's teething. Yeah, that sucks. Or I didn't sleep last night. Yep, that sucks. Like it's not like it is feeling super heavy. Do you know what I mean? Somewhere on that scale, you exist. You are living somewhere on this scale. Maybe you're way down here, or you're way up here, or you're somewhere in between. Wherever you are vibrating, that's what you're attracting the exact match for. So if you are finding that you're way down here, things are freaking hard. Every single day is feeling exhausting. It is feeling emotionally draining, physically draining, like mentally you are struggling. Literally one thing after another is happening that you're like, what am I ever going to catch a break? I remember there was a time where it was one bill after the other. I couldn't keep up. I could not keep up my bank account to even have a positive number. I was constantly in overdraft. I couldn't afford to pay my bills. I couldn't afford to pay my credit card. I couldn't afford the student loan payments that were starting to come out. I couldn't keep up with my work. My work was exhausting. My family life was exhausting. Like everything felt really freaking hard, really, really hard. And it just felt impossible. It literally felt like life was going, haha, sucker, and throwing shit at me. And I'm like, I cannot get my head above water. I cannot keep my head above water. The same thing started happening like right after I had a baby in those first like 4 months, I would say. But especially in those first couple of months, it was freaking hard. It was hard with kids. It was hard on me. It was hard with my business. It was hard with my relationship. It was hard with everything. Everything felt really, 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 really hard. And I know that there was postpartum and my hormones were everywhere, but I also know the things I was thinking and what I was focusing on and the vibration that I was living at was really low. And I was focused on everything that was going wrong. Nothing that was going right, which there was lots that were going right. But up until probably about February, I was so fixated on everything being wrong, on everything that was really hard. And I ask you to ask yourself, what are the things that you're constantly thinking about? What are the things that you're thinking? What are the things that you're focused on? What are the things that you're saying to yourself and out loud? What are the things that you are asking for? I truly believe that those things, what is going on in your mind and what you're speaking out loud, what you're fixated on, what you're focused on, those things determine where on the scale you are vibrating at. And the more you think and feel and act and fixate on good things, on things that you have already, on basically the more gratitude you focus on, the higher up the scale you get. Hi, Tia. The higher up the scale you get, the more life starts to serve you. It starts to, give you these opportunities. And it's not because all of a sudden your luck just changed. I know. It's not like all of a sudden your luck just changed or things just had a drastic, turnover. It's that you are now vibrating for things that are of a higher value, that those are now what you are a match for. Okay. Again, I am not an expert in this. If you want experts in things like this, I'm telling you, Gabby Bernstein, Amanda Francis, they are my two spiritual teachers. I learn everything from them. Of course, I learn things here and there from other people, but those are my two gurus. That's who I have learned everything that I know about all of this from. So again, I'm not an expert, but let's apply it to your business specifically, because that's what we're here for. We all want to grow a business. We all want to make a business. So how can we make this work for ourselves? If you find that Success Club is hard, I want you to get out a journal today, tomorrow, at some point during this week. This is your homework. Before team call next week, I want you to ask yourself, why is Success Club hard for me? Or ask yourself, how do I feel about Success Club, about hitting Success Club? This is the thing that is talked about the most in this business if we want to advance. It's you have to hit Success Club. If you hit Success Club, your business grows. And the reason behind it is because you're constantly bringing in new people, bringing in new customers, bringing in new coaches, growing your business, right? If you think about a boutique and you owned a little boutique, you're thinking about how can I have sales, but also bring in some new faces, because some people fizzle out, new faces come in, you constantly have that flow. The same thing applies with your business. That's why Success Club is so important. So get clear on what do you feel? How do you feel about Success Club? What are the things you are telling yourself? Now, this is where it gets woo woo. Okay. This is where it gets like super woo woo. And you're like, your subconscious is what you actually need to uncover. It's the thoughts that are happening in that subconscious that you need to get clear on. Basically, you have like a front existing you, and then you have a real inner you. And that inner you, if you are not in tune with her, she's really quiet. Her voice is really quiet. That's your intuition. That's your highest self, whatever you like to call it. That's the person of you that knows the best, that gut feeling. We all know the feeling of having a gut feeling and trusting it. Whether we actually went and did what we felt in that gut feeling, or we went against it, we know that feeling of, I have a gut feeling. I always think about somebody. I can read people, I can read somebody's energy, and I'm like, I have a gut feeling that this person's full of shit, or I have a gut feeling that this person is not a good person. I just get a gut feeling, maybe for you it happens with something else, but for me that was what it was. I remember like literally since I was young, but especially in high school, university, and then into like early adulthood when I was starting to figure out and work around all of these other adults. I just had this intuition, this gut feeling about good people and not good people. And that gut feeling, think of her as the one who knows your best. Think of her as the one who is either hurt or in pain, or the one who's kind of scarred, but she really knows the best. And she's the one that has all of your desires, all of your dreams, all of your wishes, all of your goals, all of your ambitions. Like she's the one that holds that all. Your front self, we adapt other things, like what other people are doing. We adapt what other people are saying to us. This is like, I kind of think of the front of us like a sticky bug trap kind of thing. Like people say shit and it either sticks to us and it stays with us, or yeah, egos. Okay, yes, 100%. So the front of us is kind of like this version of ourselves that just lives life. Glad you brought that up. Ego is the part of you that keeps you safe. So we actually have like, this is why I don't teach it, but this is how I view it. You can absolutely view it in a different way, 1000%. But this is how I have adapted the concept of your ego and your best self. I view the ego, my ego, your version of you. So you've got your front self who just exists. That's the person you see. That's the person I see in you. Then you have your subconscious, which is your intuition, or that best queen bee of you. She's that person that is your absolute best. Okay. Then you have your ego. And your ego is the version of you that will kind of shit disturb things, or hold you back from things, or stop you in your tracks, or tell you doubts, fears, why you're not good at things, why you can't do things, why you shouldn't do things. They kind of like shit disturb. But the reason being is the ego is trying to keep you exactly the way you are right now. It's trying to stop change, because change can actually screw things up for the worst. So it's trying to like keep you from disturbing anything, from disturbing and disrupting the way that your life is right now. Even when your life is so shitty, you're living down here, vibrating down here. Your ego gets in the way because it says, no, you can't do that. No, you can't have that. No, you're not good enough. You can't do that. Why? Because it's comfortable. Your ego is comfortable living in the shit disturbed place that you are living in. So it tries to keep you there. So we think of it as a bad thing. We think of our ego as, oh my God, our ego is getting in the way. It's, it's almost like the devil. Like it's this bad thing. But when you really see the ego for what it does, it's trying to protect you. Your ego is trying to protect you. And it's going to come in handy when you are in situations where you're not really supposed to dive into things, where it does actually keep you safe. Fight or flight, freeze, that's part of your body saying, whoa, hold on, I need to battle, I need to fight this and keep myself in this equilibrium. I need to stay, that freezing, I need to stay there. Your ego does come out in a good version, or protective version. But we've named it to be this ego as this kind of like cocky, jerky, or this self-damaging version of ourselves. And I want you to kind of flip it. Either look at your ego like it's just a version of you who is trying to keep you at the same spot, instead of looking at it like it's a bad thing, like it's trying to keep, my ego is trying to keep me here. Think of it as, I get it. I see why that part of me is is wanting to remain where I am because you understand how to live. Even when you're living down here on that scale, you know how to do it. You haven't died yet, so you know how to go through life every single day here at this level. Your ego is saying, I have no idea what kind of shit I am going to encounter. I don't know how to protect you. If we make a change to try and jump up a couple of levels, I have no idea what life is going to be like. I don't know how I can protect you if we go up. So it's like, stay here, stay here, stay here. I only know how to survive here. Your highest self is saying, it's okay, it's safe. I want to go up there. So you being this external version of yourself, you have to decide which one do you listen to. Here's how I think about it in my head. There's an angel and a devil. Okay. It's basically just like they're just dressed up in Halloween costumes. I watched this one show when I was younger and I have no idea what show it is, but I remember there being like kind of this animation. What was it?
Emperor's New Groove. They had that.
Was it? Is okay, yes. I can't remember. I think it was something else too. But anyways, there's a like this whoever that person is dressed up in a angel costume and a devil costume. Is that what it is? Okay. So think about yourself like that. Your ego dresses up as the devil because they're trying to they're just like a shit disturber. And then which is funny because they're trying to not disturb the shit, but you get it. They're a shit disturber of your thoughts. The angel is trying to say, no, you can do this, you can do this, you can do this. And then you're on the outside like, shut the frick up. Which one do I do? Do I go here? Do I go there? Do I listen? Do I not? Do I do this? Do I not? Right? And you have to be able to distinguish which voices are you listening to. Okay. Yes. Oh my God. People I think the ego can be overconfident too. Yes, 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 yes. So that version of you that is trying to stop you from what you're doing. People confuse arrogance with the ego. Yes. That version of you that's trying to stop you from doing things, they are, I forget what I was just trying to say. Gone. That thought is gone, but let's move on. Arrogance and like overconfidence, that just comes out as like just being a dick. Like that's like the dick part of you, 100%. And I feel like when we use the term like their ego's too high, I personally view that as something different than your inner ego. Like I view the inner ego as the fear that you live out. When somebody's being too like their ego gets the best of them, I guess is kind of what it would relate to, is like their ego's getting the best of them. They're just kind of being this douchebag and they're a shit disturber, right? That's just what I view it as. Okay, so you have in your business these activities that you have to do. Okay, bringing it back to, I'm going to use the example of Success Club and recruiting, building your team. If you constantly are listening and having the voice of your ego, that fear, that doubt running on repeat, it's going to keep you from ever hitting Success Club. Why? Not because there's a part of you that feels that you're not worthy of actually accomplishing that, but because that version of you, that ego, doesn't know what it's like to live a life when you do hit Success Club. It doesn't know how to protect you when you hit Success Club. It doesn't know, that version of you does not know that hitting Success Club is actually going to make your life better. It's just trying to keep you exactly where you are, which is if you're not hitting Success Club, or you find that Success Club's hard, or you can't get past a certain point in Success Club, your ego is like, okay, I know exactly how to live right here. I know how to protect you right here. It doesn't want you to advance. So for you, you have to raise the voice, raise the volume of that other version of you, of that best you, of that higher self, of that version of you who wants to see you succeed. She knows that you can do it. She needs to be the voice that you actually listen to, that you hear loud and clear, and you take action from. You being the existent version of you, you're going to take action from that higher self, from that person, that version of you who wants to succeed, knows that hitting Success Club over and over and over and over and over again can and will change your life. In that higher version of you, she might have things that she's trying to tell you and messages that you can listen to. This is again where it gets like super woo woo and it's like, she's trying to tell you things. So when you're feeling like this is really hard, life is really hard, I don't know why I'm constantly getting, I'm getting no's, I'm getting hesitations, people are telling me bogus things. Anytime that I have constant no replies, nobody in my inbox, or messages that are just bunkers, like just crazy objections that I'm like, what the heck? I ask myself, what are the thoughts that are going through my head? And I take it to my journal. For me, the way that I can tap into that subconscious, that part of me that really knows all of this, that I might have to help and heal some things, uncover some limiting beliefs. The way that I tap into her is through journaling. For you, it might be through something else. It might be through meditation. It might be through going for a walk. It might be through hot showers. It might be through talking to somebody. It might be through something else where, have you ever had that thought of, or that feeling of, oh my God, that's like all of a sudden clear. Like I get it now. Or you go for a walk and you've got all of these ideas coming to you, or in the shower, all of these ideas. You get them all, but then you leave that environment and you can't remember what they were. So if you don't write them down immediately at that time, they're gone. That's where you tap into your best self. That's where you tap into that version of you that you really want to listen to. Okay? Go to that place. For me, it's taking walks. So I used to get all of these downloads during walks while I used to walk Brody. I don't do that anymore. So now I really rely on journaling and taking a shower. Those are the three places that I always really was able to tap in and hear that voice. When I'm sitting at my desk, there's no freaking way that I'm listening to it. I'm either being, the voice of the ego is super loud. You can't do this. This sucks. This is hard. Don't even bother. Why are you even doing this? Or it's just my existence and I'm adapting to what everybody else, I'm taking in what everybody else is doing. Okay. So for your business, ask yourself, when shit is hard or it's feeling hard, what are the things that you are saying? Are you saying Success Club's hard? It's hard to talk to people. People are constantly telling me excuse after excuse after excuse. Nobody wants to sign up with me. It's expensive right now. What's the words that you are saying? Comes back to all of those like thoughts and beliefs, and those voices that you're having, the thoughts that you're actually thinking, but also probably projecting and living out, goes back to that scale. What's the vibe that you are radiating at? What are you living at? There could be you and me, for example. We are living in the exact same month. We have the exact same things going on, the exact same sale, the exact same boot camp. I say, I don't give a crap what day it is, what month it is, what is happening in the world. There's always somebody that wants my help and needs my help. And I'm constantly having new people join me. I always hit Success Club. And then there's you, not you personally, but maybe it's you. You're thinking, this is hard. This is a bad time of the year. People are constantly like, it's bad time. 2020 was nobody wants to do this. It's too expensive for people. everybody's struggling financially. I get it. And relating to that, living in that story of people can't buy because of the pandemic. I lived a story. People don't have a choice. They have to do exercise at home. They need me more now this year than ever. And other people are saying, this is the worst year. This is the worst opportunity. Nobody has the money to spend on a boot camp. What I have to offer will never be good. I feel terrible telling people to buy a $200 package because this is the pandemic and nobody has any money. My mind is saying, I've never been needed more than now. And this mind is saying, nobody's going to come. I, on that scale, am radiating way up here. I'm going to attract the people and I'm going to attract that exact outcome. People need me. People needed me. I still had a business. This person is going to attract exactly down here. Nobody. Excuses for money. So when you are looking at the objections that you're getting or the signups that you are or not getting, ask yourself, what are you a match for? Where on the scale are you a match for? Because if you believe wholeheartedly that you can always, always achieve the exact goal that you have, you can always have your business grow. If you believe to the core of your being that you wake up to new Success Club points every single day, it's going to freaking happen. That's what you're a match for. You're literally radiating at this vibration that does not let shit like haters, people returning things, people like quitting and making this big dramatic scenes. Like, you will not have that in your business because it's like you have this bubble, and whatever you vibrate at, you have a bubble, and you either bounce things off or you let things in. And what you let in is a match for you and where you're at, and everything else is bounced off. If you are constantly radiating so high, you don't let none of the things that match lower than you are allowed in past your bubble. You literally reject it. Like, your energy rejects it. So people, like, when people in this business talk about haters and I don't know, just like negative things, I'm like, I don't experience that. Like, I've been doing this for 5 years and I haven't had any like super dramatic things happen. The odd thing here and there, but I look at where my energy was at that time and I'm like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Like, I was a match for that. But truthfully, like, day to day, like, I don't have issues like that on my social media. I don't have people who like hate on me or bring me down, or, I don't even really have like mom shaming or anything like that. And people talk about that all the time. Like, oh my God, the world is so terrible with mom shaming and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, man, my community is amazing. Like, I have never had, the support that I have now with my social media following and then in the last couple of years. It's truly incredible. And the reason being, I believe, is because my energy, what I am vibrating at, is not a match for haters. I literally don't have the available energy. And even if they came at me as haters, I probably wouldn't even know, or it wouldn't even phase me because of that bubble. It literally just bounces off because I don't have the capacity to let that in. I'm not a match for it. So I hope this makes sense, because again, I'm not an expert on it. I don't know how to teach on this, but what I want you to get at least is, if you're finding that things are hard, if you're finding that your business is hard, if people are saying no a lot, if people are quitting a lot, if people are joining and then returning, if people are doing weird, shady things, ask yourself what you're a match for. And how you do that is you work backwards, and you have to ask yourself, aka talking to that subconscious, talking to that higher version of you, that best version of you, what is she saying? What is she thinking? What is she really trying to tell you? What is she, you know, what are the limiting beliefs that she might have? She knows that you are, or maybe the limiting beliefs that the ego has, really. But what are you getting stuck on? And what are you constantly saying every single day inside your head, but also aloud? What are the words that you are constantly saying? Are you saying, I'm not good at this? I'm struggling? Are you focused and fixated on what you're doing wrong? Or are you thinking about everything that you're doing right? One of the things that I can easily do to shift my energy and the state that I'm at is I ask myself what I'm fixated on. Am I constantly fixated on trying to do better or on all of the things that I'm doing great? You kind of have to get a little bit like proud of yourself. Like if you want good things to happen in your life, it's almost like you have to like yourself. You actually have to believe in yourself. You actually have to say and be able to think about the things that you're doing really freaking well. That is going to expand and you're gonna have more of that. So if you constantly are saying things like, man, this is what I actually do really well, I'm gonna do that. Or you have so much confidence in that good, highest version of you that she speaks so clearly on the things that you don't wanna do that you're okay saying, that's good for you. I am so happy that that works for you. That's not what I want. That inner version of me, that higher self of me, she doesn't want that. She doesn't do that, right? Okay, I'm gonna take a pause. I hope that this is making sense in some form or capacity. Yeah, it is. Okay. Does anybody have any questions on any of this? Anything that I can be of help for in this area?
Okay, so for me, I find, I don't know if it's because like my postpartum hormones are like rampant right now or what, but I find like when I'm in a bad mindset and in a bad place and I like know I'm there and I'm like, get out of it, I'm like, no, like make myself stay there. I think it's partly because I'm a four and I like to feel, but I also am like, I don't want it affecting my whole day or my relationships or, whatever. So it's like, what is like your best way of like snapping out of it? What do you
Yeah.
suggest? Because that's what I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah. So the first thing I would say is everybody is 1000% going to do it differently because we all have different personalities. So, and this would go like, I'm sure others are going to be able to relate to this, but I know this about you specifically. I'm going to say what you probably are like, oh, it's probably not even going to feel good. And yet it's the nicest thing ever. Be nicer to yourself. So, what I mean by that is don't fixate on I'm doing something wrong, that I am here in this state of mind because I'm not doing it well enough. I'm not speaking it. Like you're fixated on all of the things that you're not doing. So when I'm in that state, I literally take out my journal and I write at the top of the page, why does it feel like, and then I write it out. So if it feels really hard, why do I feel like things are so hard? And then I just let myself answer that question. Other times it'll be like, why, like, prime example is when I'm feeling, it's actually happened to me postpartum. I felt like I was so unsupported. I was so convinced that I had no support. I was so convinced that people were not helping me, that I was doing all of it on my own. I took to my journal, literally wrote at the top of the page, I don't feel supported. Why? And then I listed all of these things that were on repeat about why I felt like I wasn't supported. Kyle doesn't do the dishes very often. Kyle is at work. I have to have the baby. I have no idea what I'm doing. And I'm trying to figure out how to run a business while also doing full time mom. I literally wrote out all of these things. And so, in that process, the most important thing of the entire process is to remove judgment. That is the most important thing. You cannot allow yourself to be better, to think better, to vibrate higher. You can't be a better version of you if you are stuck in judgment. Judgment is actually truly the devil. Like, judgment is what keeps you stuck. Judgment is this toxic crap. You are basically poisoning yourself if you're constantly judging. And it's not just judging other people. The worst person that we judge is ourselves. We constantly think, I'm not doing this right. Like, all of that is judgment. So when you allow yourself to see what you are thinking, like see it clearly on paper, what is going through your head, if you allow yourself to do that without judgment, that's where you can make that step. That's where you can go to a better place. If you can't look at what's going on in your head without judging and without tearing yourself apart, that's not even the ego. That is literally just judgment. That is just that toxic crap. That's a skill. To be able to not judge is a skill. It is a practice that you have to constantly do. I don't personally believe that the ego is actually truly the one stopping you in your tracks. I feel that that ego is the version of you that is so fearful of change that it convinces you that you can't do it. It's not the version of you that says, oh my God, why am I such an idiot? Oh my God, why am I doing this way? That's judgment. The ego is saying, you can't do this. This is scary. You can't do this business. People are going to worry about you. People are going to question what you're doing. Don't do this. Your parents are not going to agree with this. Your parents are going to, that's the ego. Judgment is, why the heck am I doing this way? Why am I so stupid? Why do I always forget this? Why am I always, always, always late for things? Why do I always procrastinate? That's judgment. They're two completely separate things. So when you remove judgment and you don't allow that judgment toxic to poison the version of you who wants to do better, that's where you can raise up. So for me, it is a skill. 1000% it is a skill. But judgment, the way I work through it, I work through that voice in my head, the judgment in my head saying, wow, you are such a procrastinator. And judgment also would come for things like one thing I stopped doing was blaming everything I was doing on either my past trauma or my scars. Like, I used to say all the time, I'm just like this because I grew up with an abusive dad. I'm like this because do you even know the trauma that I went through? Like, that's what I say all the time. Or what I used to say all the time. I had to learn to take responsibility of that and say, okay, I get it. You were dealt this shitty hand. Like, there's no doubt about it. But I also have the ability to change that. And that's where my mission of change my story, changing the story that we live came from. It was understanding that I can't blame everything. I was a blamer. I can't blame everything that is happening to me on external things. So that judgment, I work through that, even though it's really hard. And I have to see all of these habits that, man, I've adapted. And the person that I am is, from the people that I was surrounded by. I see habits of my dad, my mom, and things that I don't like, especially things that I don't like about myself. Um, you have to be able to look at that and just see it clearly for what it is and accept it. One of the things that I have to accept personally is I've got like a temper so big and patience this big. So when things don't go my way, I snap, I freak out, and it's a part of me that I don't love at all. I don't love that. I can be doing something and just go and just like snap, or I'll be even holding Kins and she just won't shut up from fussing, and I'm like, oh my God, like it's a part of me that I don't love, but I can't judge it. I can't be like, wow, you're such a terrible parent. Wow, you are so angry. Wow, you are so, it's just a part of me. So I have to learn to see what it is and adapt from that and move on from that. So I hope that answers the question. But what I truly would do is when you're in that state, I would allow yourself to see what is actually, it's almost like you want to download from your computer all of the things that are actually happening. That way you can go in and clear things out. So it's almost like taking your storage that's in your, it's like clearing out the storage on your phone or clearing out the storage in your computer. You know, you take things, you delete it, you go into the trash can and you're like, okay, don't need any of this garbage anymore. You delete and empty the trash can. You go through your files and you're like, well, this is taking up room and I need space for something else. I'm going to go clean that out. Essentially, that's what you're doing when you allow yourself to really see what's going on. There are things on your computer that you didn't even need to keep. There are things that you downloaded or you screenshotted or whatever, especially on your phone, that you just didn't need. You didn't actually need that on your phone or your computer, and you have to get rid of it. You have to see that it's there first to be able to get rid of it. The same thing applies to your mindset. If you allow yourself to say, okay, what's going on up here? Like I need to write all this shit down. What is up here taking up space, cluttering the crap out of my brain? Get it out all on paper, see it clearly for what it is, and let it go. Like literally just let it go. Um, if you're a tangible person, write it all out, burn it. If you want to like literally light it on fire, burn it over the kitchen sink, or you write it out on something and you can flush it down the toilet. Like if you are a physical person like that, where in order to build that practice, like now I can just be like, okay, this is what I'm thinking. It's gone. And it's just gone. It's just like poof, gone out of the air. But at the beginning, I had to actually go through the process of this is not true, writing it out over and over and over and over again in my journal. This is not the truth. This is not the truth. Over and over and over. It was a tangible action that I had to do to train my brain to not need that thought anymore. Okay. I hope that helps. Does that help at all?
Yeah, definitely. Because I feel like I'm almost like I'm really good at holding grudges with myself. So it's like easy to like hang on to that stuff. So I feel like that would be, and I avoid journaling right now because I have so much to get out. And I'm like, who has the time for all that?
And so, yeah, exactly. Right. I honestly, and this is like, this is the thing that you don't want to hear is you hold a lot of judgment. Like judgment is very strong for you.
Yeah.
But if you give yourself the opportunity to let that judgment do the talking, but let your higher you, that best you, see it and throw it away. Because there's a version of you that knows that none of that is true, which is why you're avoiding getting it out on paper. Right. But that journaling version of you, or sorry, that judgment version of you, that judgment, it's not even you. It's just judgment. Judgment is like the plague. It's toxic. It is poison. Judgment is not you. You are not judgment. Judgment is like this monster that, in Moana, how the, what's her name?
The island Tafiti or whatever.
Yeah. You know how she's taken over by the monster? That's essentially you right now. You are living and being controlled by judgment. Judgment is not you. It is controlling you right now. What you can do is gain it back. So literally, I'm such a visual person on like external ideas, but it's like finding that your pen and paper, you journaling is like you putting the heart back in to yourself, and that clears away, and you can then see judgment for what it is, and you know that you are not those evil things, you are not those evil thoughts, you are not those bad grudges. It's just judgment. Judgment is what's toxicating your life right now, and if you can gain control over that, you're not what your judgment is telling you. It's just consuming you. It's over consuming you. So I would say best thing to do would be get out your journal, and as your highest self, write out what judgment is telling you. Look at these things, look at them as not you. So judgment is judgment. Judgment is this evil, like, name it if you want to name it. It's this evil person. Your highest self, name her. What is she? Who is she? What is her name? Like, what is she? For me, my highest self, my best self is like Queen Bee. Like, I literally refer to my best self as Queen Bee. I love Beyonce, and I have always, for the longest time, I'm like, I'm the queen. Like, that when I am thinking about my best self, that's who I am. I am Queen Bee. When I write out things or I talk about my dreams, my goals, my ambitions, the things that I know that I can achieve, it's her who's talking. So look at yourself externally. Go outside of this external version of you. Go outside and see each version of yourself as different things, and kind of let yourself go and, tap into that imagination. But force your best self to write out all of the things that judgment is forcing you to believe, aka all of those things that you're holding grudges on, those things that you are telling yourself that you're not good enough for, that you are, because that's not the ego, that is fully judgment. And literally burn it with fire, tangible, in your hand. Let the lighter catch the paper and watch that shit burn. And if you have to do it every single day until your brain catches on, just like you have to do exercise every single day or multiple times a week in order for your muscles to catch on to getting stronger, you have to do the same thing with judgment. You have to basically destroy this poison that is taking over your best self. And it might take multiple times to actually rid it of it entirely. But I would do something tangible. 1000%. I would like, and maybe it's like ripping up the paper. You write it all out, rip it up. But you've got like this energy that's like, nah, bitch, I need to burn you. I would light it on fire, and I would do it over and over and over. And as long as you remind yourself, this is not me talking, this is judgment talking. I am being consumed right now by judgment toxicity. You let that out, put it on paper, and burn that shit, because you don't have time and energy to give to that judgment. It's ruining your life. In all essence, it's literally stopping you, right? And it's toxicating everything else that you're trying to do, your business, your marriage, your life, your momhood, everything. It's getting in the way of all of that, because your best self would not have those judgments, right? See, this is where I'm like, yeah, like, talk to me about like something specific, because I'm like, oh, I can get like real spicy about things that I do. And that's why it's so hard for me to share this type of topic, because I'm like, I do these weird things that people are probably not willing to do. And I'm not kidding when I say I have probably 30 journals filled, like every single page filled, hours spent in order to get to this mindset, because I was not like this a couple years ago, let alone 5 years ago. I was consumed by judgment, consumed by the blame game. The I am like this. Like, you don't even know my past. That used to be my thing. You don't even know what I'm going through. You don't even know the shit that, right?
Yeah.
And that's what you want to move away from, because that's the blame game. That's victimhood. And your highest self, she's not a victim. She owns her life. She creates that shit. She is not a victim. She is somebody who makes things happen for herself. And if you're living in that blame game, you're living in that, well, I can't have it because, and then there's always this reason. That's living in, that's not living your best as your best self, because you're constantly projecting all of this onto something else. And you can change that. You can change it. That's the best, that's the most incredible thing, is the fact that you can change it. And it literally all happens up here. Okay, any other questions?
I don't have a question, but I did want to kind of comment on that because I have an excuse that I don't have time for journaling. That's an excuse that I keep making. And so what I've actually done, and it's been helpful, is I've videoed myself, just letting it all out there, saying whatever it is that's on my mind, getting it out, cry, yell, whatever it is, and then I'll go back and watch it. And I'll either pause it or I'll just yell back at myself how that's not true, or talk to myself almost as though I'm listening to a friend sending a video and saying, hey, look, no, that's not true. That's not true. And that's been helpful for me. I'm working on, and I'm getting to journaling. That is my goal. And today I'm going to do it. Today I'm going to do it.
You know what? I don't even, if that's what works for you, then that's what works for you. I wouldn't even bother on journaling. If and when.
Video journal.
What?
Video journal.
Yeah, that is what you're doing. You are journaling. You're just doing it with your voice instead of a pen. So I would say
it can be powerful to say it out loud.
100%.
It is. And I will say that watching that back and feeling that with me as I'm doing it, it's really weird. I don't like to feel my emotions, but it forces me to do that. And in the process, I'm able to even kind of think about, what was it that really made me mad? Like, am I mad that there's a sock on the floor, or am I mad that my expectation wasn't met for whatever the situation was? But I'm Kaylin, I'm like you. I get mad and I don't want to not be mad. I want to stew on it. It's like, it's hard. Yeah. It's really hard, but that might be something.
I like that idea, especially because watching it back, you might see how uncomfortable you are even saying it. And you're like, I'm fighting it, but I'm still making myself think it. Like, you know how you can see people say things, but their like body is like cringing while they say it. You know, it's like you can almost see yourself, because you can feel yourself doing that when you're feeling it. So you've got to be able to tell.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I would say, like, I would not even, I definitely would not even bother journaling like with a pen and paper. I would say that is your journaling. That is 100% the way that you journal, because exactly what you're doing through your video is what I'm doing, but with pen and paper. And for me, I can't always find the words. Like, I struggle to find the words my brain goes like this all the time. Right. And I find that when I am trying to say it out loud, it's like this. I'm like, I have all of these things. I know exactly what I want to say, but once it comes to words, I can't say it. So for me, I have to write it. It's the only way that I can actually get out what I'm trying to say. So for you, you're just a verbal person, and that's where you're going to be able to do it. And what's happening is when you are watching it back, you've now rid yourself of all of this toxic judgment and crap and everything. No worries, Tasha. You're ridding yourself of all of that. You're literally putting it all out there. Now you can see it clearly. And you, sorry, I'm distracted by her comment. You can see it clearly now. And now all of a sudden it's your highest self looking at this, not like, oh my God, Tia, you're such a bad person. It's your highest self saying, no, that's not true. Nope, that's not true. Okay, now I see that I wasn't actually mad about the sock being not picked up. I was really feeling this. It is your highest self actually understanding what is going on. And it's you figuring out and moving pieces around. And I think that's the most important factor, is that when you're doing stuff like this, you can't put judgment out there and then judge yourself on it. Like, you have to be willing. You have to be full on willing to let that judgment go. You have to be full on willing to not judge yourself. Like, nothing is too weird. Nothing is too crazy. I used to, as part of like meditating, I literally used to talk to the air. I used to just talk. And it wasn't, I would kind of like close my eyes and I'd be like, thank you, universe, for allowing me to be in this moment, for getting me to this place right here today. And like pray, I guess. I just used to talk. And then I would literally have a conversation with nobody except for myself. And I'm like, man, if people ever had a camera in this room, they would for sure send me to a mental health hospital, because I would like talk and I'd throw my hands up and I would be having a conversation with the wall. And it was just to the point where you tap into this version of you that's trying to uncover and discover and clear away things that it's not even like it's not your front version having this conversation. It's your highest self having a conversation with the crappiness that's happening, or that toxicity, or that judgment, or the ego who's trying to keep you safe and causing all of this fear, or that childhood version of you. They're trying to heal that part of you, saying, it's okay. It's okay. I understand now why it is that you feel that way, because that happened. So many times I had these light bulb moments go off because I would say, oh my God, Ray, the Ray who is like 5 years old, crying and crying and crying and crying and crying, or the Ray who was, I remember so clearly this one vivid memory of my dad got so wasted. It was Christmas time and he ruined our entire Christmas tree. He got like so belligerent, and we were all decorating the Christmas tree already. He made a big fuss about it because it was supposed to be this family event. And so I didn't participate. Christmas used to be the worst holiday for me. I hated it. Every single year there was something bad that happened. And so I did not decorate. Kyle and my mom decorated our Christmas tree. He got home, literally the whole thing fell on the floor, smashed all of the lights, smashed all of the Christmas ornaments. And I had to like have a conversation with the Ray who experienced that, sitting on the floor. And I'm like, I get it. I'm so sorry that you went through that. And I can absolutely understand why you're feeling this way. It was completely unrelated to Christmas, completely unrelated to something. Something was going on. And I had to talk to that version who experienced that and was holding on to that, literally that day, that memory. It was like, it was clear as day, but I was still holding on to the hurt. It's like I didn't process it, obviously. And so that happens. You have to be willing to do like super weird shit like that, if you really want to unclear and move up the scale and have that better energy.
Right.
So yeah, I totally get that.
Yeah, I love that idea. When you were saying it, Kia, I actually kind of got chills, and I was like, "Oh shoot, maybe that's a sign that I need to try that."
You're an audio person. You send a lot of your messages via audio
really
because
do.
you don't have time to sit and type or whatever it is. Mm-hmm.
I've always been a talker, so it makes so much sense that would like intrigue me. That makes
I can't take credit for it. It's my therapist that gave me the idea, because I told her I write too much. I send emails all day. I'm writing all the time. I don't have time, and I don't want to take a pen and paper. I do, but I don't, because I am too OCD and I want my big introduction and my meet, whatever. Yeah. So she said, why don't you just record yourself? And so I recorded myself. It actually started as a video that I had fully intended to post on my social media as like we all go through shit, this is how we can work through it type situation. And I get 5 minutes. I mean, it's like a 20-minute video. I get 5 minutes into it and I'm just in my feelings, like just going, like it's all coming out. And then I did wait a minute to go back and watch it, because I needed to kind of process what I had just done and what had just happened. But going back, I cried with myself. I yelled with myself. I felt for myself for the first time ever. And Ray, I think I'm a lot like you, that I've been through, trauma growing up, but I will look you dead in the face and tell you everything that happened to me and